Hello people and welcome to JeffGaming. Today we're going to be doing a perfect punch video with Carlos. Essentially exactly the same as how you do it with the dodge with Jill. However, it's got some particularly useful traits that we're going to be looking at. And just like I say, just a sort of a simple tutorial of how to do it. Now, first time I got into it, I actually got it first time straight off the bat. Perfect punch on Brad, I think he's called. It isn't as useful on zombies, I don't think. I actually struggled a little bit with the zombies, especially just a one-on-one zombie, because you have to time it exactly as the zombie lunges at you. As you can see, if you don't get it perfect, it actually still is quite useful, because you can just knock a zombie back, and as you can see, I'm just basically vexing him at this point, just pushing him down. If you do hit it clean though, it does knock them some distance. Now, the particularly effective part of it is on faster attacking creatures, so the hunter and the licker. Specifically the hunter, because you come up against a lot of them when you are Carlos in the hospital. As you can see here, essentially there's no rhyme or reason behind it. You don't really have to time it that well. You just simply need to press the right bumper or the R1 and forward, of course, and as you can see, you'll either knock them back, or if you get the timing right, you'll punch them. So as you can see here, I'm just pressing it as over and over and over again. Do it again, knock them back, shoot them a little bit, then get the punch. And I think this just is because they have a much faster attack rate, so they are attacking a lot more frequently. And it just allows you to hit that window of opportunity much easier. I mean, on this one, I pretty much do it perfect. Knock him back, punch him, put a few rounds into him, knocks him back obviously manually. I then punch him again, and I actually pop open his head to sort of show the weak spot, and then end him straight like that. So he didn't even manage to get a hit off on us. It sort of just shows how effective it is against the hunter. And it's definitely something that I did not utilise enough when I did my playthrough. As you can see here, Hunter's started to get a hit on us. I then knock him back. I then stun him a little bit with the shoulder barge. Knock him fully down. Well, not fully down, but hit him fully with the punch. And it just stuns him, and I just keep pressing it until I get the punch and get the slow motion. It essentially just nullifies them, makes them so much easier to deal with. Now, there is a couple of lickers that you do come up against when you're in the police station with Carlos. It is just as effective against them. As you can see, there's no rhyme or reason. You just got to press it. There you go. I get a stun, and then I get a slow motion, stun again, and I'll just be able to run past. I could have stayed and killed them if I wanted, which I do on this one here. But essentially, it just makes these difficult enemies just not as scary. As you can see, I can just keep pressing RB and I just stun them, and then I eventually get the punch off, get the slow motion, and I can just aim for where I need to aim for. Now, it is useful against zombies, especially in a tight situation like this. As you can see, I can just skip past zombies if they're on their own, because you just glitch through them. And in a large chunk like this, in a small space, because the attack speed is increased, you're able to hit the punches. Like you see, I hit 1, 2, 3 straight off the bat there, because I'm getting attacked a lot more frequently. So you can just sort of spam that RB button or the R1 button, and it will allow you to simply punch them and move on. Again, this is just something I did not utilise at all really on my playthrough, and it is something that made it a lot harder. I mean, if you have been watching the playthrough, you'll see there's a particular part where I'm stuck with a couple of hunters that I can't kill. And if I had this as an option, I think I would have definitely struggled a lot less, essentially. Now, as you can see, on a single zombie, not particularly useful. I'm just sort of scanning through them, and then I eventually get it. If you time it right, it does knock them down, but it essentially, it's more of like a defensive sort of one when it's against a single zombie. You just glitch through them and sort of get past. Now, that's sort of the end of the video. As you can see, I've just put some gameplay of Jill here, just with a couple of dodges on there. But essentially, it's the same thing. It's just RB or R1 in the direction. It's a lot more forgiving when you are Carlos, because you don't have to roll out of the way of them. you can just roll or punch straight through them, because if you don't get the sponge, you will shoulder barge straight through them and knock them back. So definitely something that you should be trying out, especially if you're on the harder difficulties, because it does seem to make it a breeze using it. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like, of course, like and subscribe. If you didn't, leave a comment, let us know why. But yeah, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.